Performing system recovery. When device failure occurs, you need to recover the device. Windows 10 includes several device recovery features that can help you recover a device while leaving your user data on the device intact. Basically, when we have a problem in the device and when our device goes corrupt, so main problem is the data, because we can reinstall the operating system, and the problem is that sometimes we are in the trouble, like we can lose the data. So data is important and we want to intact the data. So Windows has given us in Windows 10, Microsoft has given us several features for the recovery of our device. So first, overview of system recovery procedure. In the past, it was a common practice to create backups of all the data on a device, including the operating system files, apps, and user data. This was because in the event of system failure, you would need all of these data to recover the device. However, today things are different because devices are connected. Apps, if installed locally, are available at all times from the company store or Windows Store. Then user data is no longer only stored locally. Local storage provides faster access and the ability to use data in the absence of network connectivity. When connectivity is restored, the local copy of the data sync and stores on organizational file server or in the cloud. So in the past, mostly what we do take the backups of operating system, application, user data, and everything, so that when our system crashes, then we can recover the system from that backup. But now the things are different because devices are connected, data are stored into the network file servers, clouds. It is not stored locally normally. Applications are also sometimes comes from the server. So things are a little different now. So the operating system separates from the data. That means now we can say that operating system is now separate from the data, and you can recover, reinstall, or upgrade it without affecting the data. So device recovery features in Windows 10. So these are the device recovery features we have in Windows 10. First, driver rollback. If you are having a problem with the drivers, then you can do driver rollbacks. Sometimes when we install some driver and we have problem with the driver, then we can do roll back the drivers. We have system protection and system restore. We have startup recovery. We have reset this PC feature. We have system image recovery, and also we have command prompt you can do it from command prompt. So after you recover an operating system, you can restore access to data by doing one of the following. So once you have recovered the operating system, so what you will do, you will recover the data, you will recover the data access by doing by signing into the recovered device. And if you use folder redirection, offline files, or OneDrive for business, so if you are using the network storage, you are using the cloud storage, then you can just have to sign in with the device, sign in on the device, on the recovered device with the account which you have stored the data. Then it will be easily get the data from the folder redirection. Folder redirection is coming from the server in the domain environment, and also we can have offline files from the domain where the files are stored into the server, and it is available offline in our local system. Then also we can store the data on OneDrive. It is a cloud drive where we can store the data. OneDrive for businesses. Now second option is to restore the user data by using the Azure backup or backup and restore Windows 7 too. So if we have taken the backup of the data, if it is not stored on the network or cloud, and we have stored it was only locally stored data, then we should take the backup before recovering the operating system, or we should take the backup in a daily basis or weekly or monthly basis, so that whenever we lose the device, we can recover it from the backup. If we have taken the backup, then only we can recover it from the backup. So we can take the backup in Azure backup, it is a cloud backup. We can take the backup in the cloud, Azure cloud backup, or we can take the backup by using the backup and restore Windows 7 tool. And we can store it in another drive. Another drive, either it is removable drive or another internal drive also. So we can take the backup, and if we have already taken the backup, then we can restore the backup from these locations or these tools. Now first, driver rollback. Driver rollback, non-destructive operations, but it requires restart. This driver rollback is non-destructive operation, but it requires restart. Now it do what? It reinstalls the previous version of a device driver that is not available if the device driver has never been updated. So if the device driver has never been updated, then you will not go back to the previous version. But this is the driver rollback is basically going back to the previous version of the driver. Only active and functional drivers are backed up. So only active and functional drivers are backed up. So when we are having active and functioning drivers, only that drivers only have the backup. And supports one level of rollback, and it goes only one level back. It will not able to go multiple levels back. And if you perform a rollback, you cannot roll back again. Then driver rollback is not available for printers. Again, it is not available for printers. Malfunctions devices are handled on an individual function basis. So printer and scanners are, if they are malfunctions, because they are not internal devices, they are external devices to our PC. So it is not putting that impact on our PC. So that malfunction devices are handled on individual function basis. Then can be performed from safe mode. So if your machine is not starting properly, remember, if your machine is not starting because of the driver, suppose you have installed some driver, and after installing you are facing a problem there. You are facing the problem because remember the drivers are for the hardware machine. So it can impact your hardware devices, and it can corrupt those hardware devices sometime also. So if suppose we install some driver and we start facing a problem, with sometime our machine is not starting, or it is going into the loop of rebooting, or sometime it is not functioning properly. So we can do what? We can remove those drivers. We can do what? We can roll back. If we know that the problem related to this driver and it is started after installing the driver, then we can do what? We can roll back to solve the problem. Now if suppose the machine is not starting, if it is not starting, then what? We can go to safe mode, and we can go to safe mode, and then we can try to recover. We try to go back to try to remove the driver or roll back the driver. The procedure for the rollback the driver is very simple. We go to the driver's device manager, and we'll right click on the driver's device that to roll back, and then click properties, and in the properties dialog box we have a driver's tab, and in the driver's tab you will see the rollback driver. In the driver package rollback dialog box, and then click yes. But this option is only available when you have recently updated the driver. If it is not updated or not upgraded, then you will not see that option, and this option can be used only one time. That means you can go back one level, you can't go back multiple levels. For example, I'll show you in this Windows 10. So in Windows 10, we can go to device manager, we can search the device manager directly here, or we can right click on start, and we can select this device manager here. So when you go to the device manager, you will see all the devices available in your system. So these are the all devices we have. We can select the device which you want to upgrade the driver or roll back. Suppose this is the keyboard, or suppose this is the mouse, or this is for the monitor, network adapter, So you just right click on that device and go to the property. Under the property you have drivers tab, and under the drivers tab you have these options. You have option to see the details of the driver, and you can update the driver, and also you can disable and uninstall the device. Then you have this option which is roll back the driver. Now it is not available because this device has not been updated till now. So if I have updated this device with some other driver, and if that driver is not working, then I can come here and then I can click on this roll back device, roll back the driver, and it will go back to the previous version of that driver which was working. Maybe it was not working, but maybe it will go back, to the previous version. This is not available right now because I have not installed any driver for the device. Any of the device you go and check, it will not be available until you do install the drivers. Let's say this one, property, drivers. Again, this rollback option is not available. It is not also showing this disable the device, because this device you can't disable. This is the basic system device. It is actually the keyboard. Without keyboard you can't do this, you can't do anything, so you can't disable it also. This was the network adapter. So network adapter we can disable. So this way you can do roll back the device driver, and this option available in safe mode also. Now safe mode is what? Safe mode is the mode where you will see your machine will not run all the services and features. It will run only a specific services and feature which is required to run the machine. It is very basic services, very basic, only to run the services. So in that mode you can do troubleshooting. So that safe mode is basically for doing the troubleshooting. Then system protection and restore point. Now if you use the system restore feature in Windows 10, it will automatically create a snapshot, also known as a checkpoint or restore point of the system settings before a major system change, such as installation of a program or update. System restore will then store the snapshot in a restore point, and restore points represent the computer configuration at a point in time and do not include users' personal data. We can assume this system restore point as a time machine. So suppose right now my machine is working properly and I want to install some big software, or maybe suppose I want to install a driver or a graphic driver or some kind of application or a game, and I feel like this is not proper application, I feel, and maybe it can harm my system, and maybe it can corrupt my system. So what I can do, I can create a system restore point before using those applications or drivers, installing those applications or drivers. Now what happened after installation of those things, those applications or drivers? If our system goes corrupt, then what we can do, we can go back to that previous point. We can go back to the previous point. So our system will be at that point. So all the configurations of the machine will go back to that previous setting, and it will actually remove the application which we have installed and that corrupt the system. So it actually takes the snapshot of the configuration of the computer, but it is not included with the personal data. That means if you are having any data in the machine, in a C drive or D drive, it is not going to take the backup of those data. It is only take the snapshot of the configuration of the system. So when we restore the checkpoint, when we restore the restore point, then our system goes back to the previous configuration. So in that configuration, if we have some softwares installed, then those softwares will come, and if we don't have any software installed at that time, then those softwares will not come. Those softwares will be removed. So create a snapshot of computer configuration. So So snapshots are called restore points, and restore points do not include user data. You can use restore point to perform driver rollbacks, protect against accidental program deletion. So if suppose you have deleted any program accidentally, but you have taken the restore point before, so you can go back to that restore point and the program will come back. Then restore Windows configuration to the earlier states. Restore points are created before system changes. Now there is an option there where when it is created automatically also. Automatically our Windows 10 also creates these restore points. And when it creates the restore points, sometime when we install some applications, so those applications do what? Before installing itself, they create the restore points. Some drivers or Windows updates are also do this. Before installing itself, they create the restore point. Then schedule can be created based on the schedule also. So we can configure the schedule also. So it will create the snapshot, it will create the restore point based on the schedule. And by default, and also we can do it manually on demand. Anytime we want, we can create it. So before applying restore point. So if turned off, all restore points are deleted. Remember, once you have enabled the restore points, so it will keep the restore points and you can take many restore points. But if you have disabled the restore point, then it will delete all the restore points you have taken. So Windows 10 creates restore points automatically before the following changes occurs. Installation of an app. If the app uses an installer that is system restore compliant, then installation of a Windows updates. Now you can create restore points in Windows 10 in a 3 ways. You can create 3 ways. Manually, wherever you choose to create them. Based on a schedule. That means Windows 10 includes schedule task which can trigger restore point creation. Then automatically, if you choose to use system restore to restore a previous restore point, in this instance system restore creates a new restore point before it restores the system to a previous state. This provides you with a recovery option should the restore operation fail or result in problem. So automatically it also creates the restore points when we restore the system to the restore point. So suppose we have taken the restore point and our system is now corrupted. Now I want to go back to that previous restore point. So when I start the procedure, my system will take the restore point again at that time, so that if our restoration method restoration time, our system would corrupt, like if suppose the power goes off and machine goes shut down, then again is the possibility that your at the moment in the process of system restore, your system can be corrupt. So you will not lose the system, so you will have the system restore created when you try to restore the system. Now to create system restore point, what we'll do, we'll go to the property of the system. So we can go to right click on this PC and go to the properties. Now here we have option in the setting app. This is the system property, or we can go to let's start with the setting app. So I'll go to home setting app first. So in the setting app, we'll go to this update and security feature. And under the update and security, we'll go to recovery option. Now here we have option to recover our system. Now here we don't have option for taking the restore point, creating the restore point. So we have more recovery options here, and we can click on this. Now it will take you to internet to guide you that what are the other options available. So this restore point option is not available in the setting app. So where you will see the system restore point option, you will see in control panel. You will see in the properties of system. So you will right click on the PC and go to the properties. It will take you to the setting app for the properties here. Now here you will go to advanced system settings. And here under the advanced system setting, we have here system protection. This is the system properties. So under this we have system protection option. Now under this system protection option we have system restore. Now you can see here the system restore is off on C drive, off on this other drive also. So we have not enabled this. Remember, you have to enable it to take the snapshot, take the restore point. If it is not enabled, then what? It is not available then. Now we have two drives, so we can enable it on either of these devices, these drives. So what it says here, you can configure the restore setting, manages the disk space and delete the restore points by using this configuration. So you can select the drive which you want to enable the system restore point. So it will create the system restore point in that drive. It is not like it is taking the backup of that drive. It is actually creating the restore point in that drive. So that drive must have some available space. Either you create it under the other drive or under the system drive. If you have only one drive, then you will create on that drive only. If you have another drive, then you can create it on that drive also. So it is like it is taking the space of that drive. It is not like taking the backup of that drive itself. So whether you want to create it in C drive, system drive or any other drive. So want to enable it, you will go to configure here, select the drive, go to configure. Here it is saying by enabling the system protection you can undo undesired changes by reverting your computer to a previous point in time. By default it is disabled, so you can do enable it. Now when I enable it now first time, then it is going to take the first restore point for the time and how much disk space usage you want to allocate. You can adjust the maximum disk space used for system protection. As space fill up, older restore points will be deleted to make room for the new ones. So we have selected the C drive, so it is going to create the system restore point and it will store the restore point under the same drive. So when it is going to save under the same drive, it will take the disk space. So it can fill up our this C drive. So we can allocate how much size we want to give to this system restore point from this C drive. We can decide it from here how much size we want to give. This is what maximum uses. So it is going to use only that maximum size. Suppose if I have given 2 GB, so it will use only till 2 GB. Now if 2 GB it is going more than 2 GB, if suppose we are taking the restore point, we are creating the restore point after every week, so it is keep increasing. It will keep increase and it will reach 2 GB and it will try to cross the 2 GB also. So what your system will do, it will automatically delete the previous restore point. It will not go more than 2 GB. It will not take more than 2 GB space from the C drive. It will start deleting the previous old restore points, thinking that this was not required now. If you don't set any value, that means it will take any amount of space. And if you have not selected any space, then you can delete this restore points manually by using this delete option. So you can delete all restore points for this drive by using this delete option, or you can do delete one by one also, not from here. You can delete it from other option. So I am enabling it here and I will say apply and OK. So now you see it is now enabled. and now we have this option available, and also we have now this option available. Now this option is saying what? To create the restore point for now. So create a restore point now for the drives for the device that have system protection turned on. So you just want to create it, then you can click here and it is going to create for now. Then if you want to go back to that previous restore point, then you can go back by using this system restore option. So before creating it, what I will do here, I will make some changes in the system. We have this software installed here. This software is also installed. I will do what? I will remove this software after creating the restore point. So after creating the restore point, I will remove this software, and I will install one more software. So we can see what happened when we restore the system. So we have these two softwares, and we are going to take the restore point first. So I will go back here under the properties, and you can go to advanced system setting, you can go to rename the PC, you can go to system protection directly. These all three options will take you to the properties of system. If you click system protection, it will directly take you to this system protection option here in the tab. If you click rename this PC advanced, it will take you here. If you click advanced system setting, then it will take you to this option. Okay, so what I will do now, I will create a restore point for the now for this time, where we have two softwares installed, our system is working properly. So I will create now. So when you create it, you have to make a name for it, so that you put the description, so that you can when you try to restore the restore point, then you know by this description that why you have taken the restore point, because it is manual. When it is taking automatic, then it is automatically give the name, but when it takes manually, then you have to provide the description, so that when you restore, you know why you are restoring it. So I will restore my fresh, I will say like this is my first point. Now it is creating the restore point for the current status, and in the current status we are having those two softwares and our system is working properly. Now remember, it is not going to take the backup of any data, any user data. The restore point was created successfully. So now it is created. So what we have here, we have these two softwares, and actually we have also data here. We have one document file also. Now what I will do, I will remove this software, and also I will remove the data. So let's see which one will come back, the data or the software, when we restore it. So I will remove this software. I will go to programs and settings. Under the control panel, go to program and features, and I will remove that software. I will remove this one. So it is installing this software. Okay, successful, next, and finish. So now the software is installed. You can see the software is not there, and I will also delete this data. When I delete, it goes back to the recycle bin, and I will clear it from here also. So now we don't have that software and also we don't have that data. I can remove, I can add some software also. So I will do what, I will add one more software here. So now I have added this new software. I can run this software, and remember this software is not under the restore point. So when we have taken the restore point, this software was not there. There was another software and there was some data. So it has taken that backup or backup of that software configuration and the data. Data it will not take, but this software was not there. Now if my machine now goes corrupt, so I want to restore it to the previous point. Now when I restore it to the previous point, then what happened? It will go back to that previous state of the configuration, and if it is the program, if some programs was there, then it will come, that programs will come, but the data will not come. Now if the programs was not there, then it will not be available at that restore point. So what I will do here, first I will do create one more restore point here for the current state. So I will select this and I will create one more, that will be, I can say that is my current point. So this is now successfully created. So like this you can create many restore points and you can restore the machine to that previous one. Now my system is corrupted, and or maybe my software is not working properly or my system is not working properly, but I have the restore point created, so I can go back to that previous point. So how I will go that, I'll go to again this system protection and I will select the restore, system restore, and remember it will take reboot and it will take some time also. So I will select this and it will open this wizard. So go next, and here you will see those two restore points, the date and the time and the description, and how we have taken it. It is manual, it is not automatically, it is manual. Sometime you will see this automatic here also, if you have enabled the restore point first, and after that when you install some software or some application or driver or even Windows update, so they enable the restore point, they create some restore points for themselves. So you can see these restore points here, and you can choose which restore point you want to go back, and you can see, you can guess, you can know by this description you have mentioned, you can see by the date and time also. One more thing you can do, like I want to see what happen if I go to this restore point. So I can see scan for the affected programs. So I can see here that which programs will be affected, the programs which is right now available in the system. So what happened to these programs, and what programs will come and what programs will go. So we can check, we can select the restore point and we can check what programs will be affected. Let's say this was the first restore point. I want to see what happened when I go back to this. This is scanning for the affected programs. And now we can see what happened when I go back to this restore point. It says any program that were added since the last restore point will be deleted, and any that were removed will be restored. That means the programs and drivers that will be deleted. So what will be deleted? This software will be deleted with the driver, with this additional software which actually comes with this software. So these two software's applications will be removed if I go to that restore point, and this one will come. This one was there previously, so this one will come, but these two softwares will be removed. And if I go back to this one, this is my current one. So what happened here? I think nothing will happen, because currently our system is right now as it is. So what I will do, I will go back to this. Remember, in this restore point there was one file also available there. So that file will not come or come, let's see, because remember it is not going to take the backup for the data. So I will go select the point and go next. So this is what I have selected, and what it is saying here, if you change your Windows password recently, we recommend that you create a password reset disk. So if suppose you have changed the password also after the restore point, then it can also be reset to previous password. So if you don't remember the previous one, then you can be in the problem. Then system restore needs to restart your computer to apply the changes, and before you proceed, save any open files and close all programs. So it needs the restart, and it will restart when you do click on finish. Once started, system restore cannot be interrupted. Do you want to continue? And this is because suppose if you lose the power or something, then what happen? Your system recovery procedure can corrupt your system again. So I say yes, I know, I have arranged everything, so I can go on to restore. Now it is going to restart and start restoring the system to previous configuration state. And it is restarting now, and it will take a little time based on the configurations we have. It says please wait while your Windows files and settings are being restored. System restore is initializing. So now our system is rebooted, and it has initialized it, system restore, and now it is starting again. Now our system is restored. I will log in here. Now it is started, and it is saying system restore completed successfully. The system has been restored to this point. Your document have not been affected. That means it has not taken the backup of any document, and it is not going to restore any document and data. And as you see here, what happened, this software came back. The software which I installed after taking the restore point, it was gone, and also that file which was there here, data2, it is not come back. Why the file is not coming back? Because this system restore is not taking any backup of any files. It is only creating the restore point for the configuration state. So it is not taking any backup of any data. So whether the data is there or not there, it does not care. So if the data is there, it's okay. If the data is now it is not there, it is still okay. It is not going to restore it. For data backup, you have the other tool, which is what you can take the backup by using the cloud backup, Azure backup, put it into OneDrive, or you can use Windows restore backup and restore tool, Windows backup and tool, Windows 7 tool, to take a backup, and then after restoring the system, you can restore the backup from there. So it is not related to anything. It is not going to take the backup of any data. It is only restoring the system configuration state. Now this is how we restore the system. Now how we restore the system? It's very simple. Again I'll tell you, I will show you. Right click on this, go to the properties, and go to system protection, and then select system restore. Now it is saying that undo the system restore. Now remember, whenever you restore the system, it will create one more restore point for that time, so that you can undo the system restore. Like if I have restored the system and it is not working properly again, So I can go back to the previous one, which from where I have restored it here, and that is what this option is showing here. So I can now go back, or I can say like undo the restore point, which we have right now, we have done. So I can undo the restore point, or if I don't, if my restore point is working properly, then I will not do this, or if I want to go to another one, then I will choose this different and select this. Now you see these two restore points was created manually, and this was created for the restore operation, and this is type for the undo. This is to do the undo restore point. Now this is the method, this is the way we are restoring the system. Now imagine if suppose you have installed the application or driver or something, and your system is now corrupted. Now corrupted, that means your system is not starting, it is not starting, even it is not starting, it is keep rebooting. Like when you start the system, it try to start the system, because it is corrupt, it goes back to restart again. Then we try to again restart, then it will go back to restart again. So if your machine is stuck into the restart loop, then you will not able to come here, you will not able to right click on this, you will not able to go to the properties, you will not able to go to the system protection, and you cannot do this system restore from here. Even if you are having the restore point created, you can't do recover it from there. So for this kind of things, we have recovery environment. We have Windows recovery environment, Windows RE. This Windows recovery environment is a recovery environment that can repair common causes of unbootable operating system. Unbootable, that means it is not booting, it is rebooting again and again. So this WinRE is based on the Windows pre-installation environment, Windows PE, and can be customized with additional drivers, languages, Windows PE optional components, and other troubleshooting and diagnostic tools. By default, Windows RE is preloaded into the Windows 10 for desktop edition, that is Home, Pro, Enterprise and Educational edition, and Windows Server 2016 installation. So this Windows recovery environment is by default installed in our Windows 10. So basically when we install our operating system, if this Windows 10, any edition of Windows 10 or even the Windows Server 2016, so this with recovery environment is also installed. So if you go to the disk management, you will see the recovery disk there, recovery partition there. In that recovery partition, this recovery environment is installed. It has a separate partition created for it. So it will be available. Now where and how you will see the recovery environment? This recovery environment has these options. Now when and how you can access the recovery environment? So you can access the Windows recovery environment features through the boot option menu, which can be launched from Windows in a few different ways. From a login screen, right click, click shutdown, then hold down the shift key while selecting the restart. So very simple, if you want to go to the Windows recovery environment, so what you will do, you will hold down the shift key and press restart. So when you restart holding the shift key, it will go back, it will restart the system and it will go to the recovery environment, and you will see this recovery environment. Now in Windows 10, select Start Setting, Update Security and click Recovery, and then under Advanced Startup, click Restart Now. From here also, it will take you to the recovery environment. Then boot to recovery media. Now boot to recovery media, that means we can boot it from the installation DVD, or we can create the recovery DVD only for the recovery environment, or we can use the hardware recovery button or button combination configured by the OEM. So some laptops or some devices may have this button available to go to the recovery environment, where it will be easy for us to just go to this recovery environment. But remember, all these options are giving you to go, it is allowing you to go to the recovery environment only when your system is running properly. That means if your system is running properly, then only you go to click the restart button while pressing and holding the shift key. And when your system is properly running, then only you can go to the setting app, updates and security, recovery, recovery option, advanced startup option, and then select restart now. You can do all of these things when your system is properly running. Now because we have installed the software and it is corrupted and it is not booting, so what we'll do, we can use the recovery media, and this recovery hardware button can also work, but it is not available. This button is not available for every machine. It is very rare. So you can go for the recovery media. There is one more way this recovery environment we can go, or automatically it will take you to the recovery environment if your machine is failed to boot consecutively 2 times. So if suppose 2 times your machine failed to boot, then automatically your machine will go to this recovery environment. So if suppose your machine is starting, and while booting, suddenly it crashes because of any other reason, because of power failure or because of the corrupt operating system or corrupt hardware. While it is rebooting, once it crashes again, then it will try to reboot again, and while again it is crashed, that means 2 times it will crash. Then what it will do, 3rd time it will automatically take you to this Windows this recovery environment. And in the recovery environment you have these options to recover your system. Or you can go to this recovery media. Now recovery media, where you will get the recovery media. This recovery media is actually your installation DVD. In the installation DVD you have the recovery option there, and also you can create a separate recovery DVD. How you will create the separate recovery DVD, recovery media? You will create it by going into the backup and restore option in the Windows. So for going into the recovery environment, what you will do, you will press start, power option, and you hold down the shift key in your keyboard and then select this restart button, restart the system. So it will take you to the recovery environment. Or you will go to setting app, updates and security. Under that update and security, go to recovery option, and here it is have advanced startup option where you will select restart now. And when you select restart now, it will go to the recovery environment. Then if it fails 2 times consecutively, then it will do again automatically take you to the restore point. Remember, 2 times. 2 times, that means when it is starting it fails, when it is starting failed. And you can use the recovery media. You can boot it from the recovery media to get the recovery environment. So for creating the recovery media, you will go to this backup and restore, Windows 7, and you have here option to create a system repair disk. This will create the system repair disk, and it will create the disk for the recovery environment. And when your system is not able to boot, then you will boot from this repair disk. And when you start the system with this repair disk, you will get the other options. You will get all the recovery environment options. You can get the options to recover your system. And also for recovering your system, you can create the system image also. This system image is actually a complete operating system, complete machine backup. Even you can restore it on another machine also. Like suppose you have created the system image. Now you are having a system image available. Now suppose your system is crashes, complete lost. Then what you will do, you will reinstall the operating system fresh reinstall. And then what, after installation you will go to this backup restore, and then you will recover it from the system image. And how you will recover from the system image? You can recover it from the system repair disk, from the recovery environment. So from the recovery environment you can recover it to the system image, and your system will come back, like your all applications and everything will come back, all the configurations and application will come back. So if suppose I have my system here working properly and I have created the system image, and if my system corrupts, completely lost, even the hardware lost, so I will take the new machine, then I will install the fresh Windows 10, and then I will go to recovery environment and I will recover it from that system image. Now my machine will come back again, like I will come with the same configuration, same user account, same softwares, everything will come back. Now creating this system recovery image, it will take lots of time and space also. It will take the lots of time and space, and you have to create it in another drive, another external hard disk. You can't create it under the same disk because your hard disk can also go corrupt. So you have to create it under the separate hard disk. Either you create it in the separate internal hard disk or external hard disk. But it will take a little more time to create this system image, because it is the backup of the whole configuration of your system with the whole applications and data also. Now if you don't have that recovery disk, then you can use your installation media. The installation media which you have used to install this Windows 10, that also has that recovery environment. First let's see the recovery environment of our installed recovery environment, which is installed in this Windows 10. So what I will do here, I will go to that installed recovery environment by going into setting, security, recovery, and I will select restart now. Remember, it will take you to the recovery environment automatically if it is not able to boot continually 2 times. I am going it to manually. This Windows RE starts automatically after detecting the following issue. So I said it can also start automatically if 2 consecutive failed attempts to start the window. So if your machine failed to start 2 times, then again it will go to recovery environment. 2 consecutive unexpected shutdowns that occurs within 2 minutes of boot completion. So if suppose suddenly your machine shut down 2 times consecutively, like suppose power failure, you are having a power failure, power comes, goes, and then again comes, goes. So it will go to Windows recovery environment. Then 2 consecutive system reboots within 2 minutes of boot completion. So again, if it is rebooting and if it is failing 2 times consecutively, then again it will go to Windows recovery environment. Then secure boot error, except for issues related to boot manager EFI. So if the secure boot is failed because of the corrupt system or something, then again it will go to the recovery environment. And if the BitLocker error on touch only device, this is for touch only device, if it is face the BitLocker error, then again it will go to recovery environment. Now what are the tools available we have in this recovery environment? So Windows recovery environment provides access to tools that you can use to recover your computer startup environment. Tools, first you will see reset this PC. Now reset this PC means it will let you choose to keep or remove files and reinstall Windows 10. It is like going back to the factory reset. It is like in your handheld devices, mobile devices, we have factory reset. So factory reset, that means it will go back to the fresh installation. So basically in this Windows 10, when we select reset this PC, it will reinstall Windows 10 fresh Windows 10, but it will give you the option to keep the data or remove the data, like whatever the data you are having in the machine, even in the C drive also, even in the system drive also. So it will give you the option to keep your data or remove your data. So if you select keep your data, then it will keep the data and reinstall the Windows. If you say remove, then it will remove everything and click and install fresh, and then system restore. Then here we can do what? Return your computer to an earlier state. So if you are having a system restore point and your system is not properly working and it is not booting, then you can come to the Windows recovery environment and you can select system restore from here. Then system image recovery. So if suppose your system is completely corrupted, so this system image that was created earlier replaces everything on your computer. So it is like a copy of your system. So when you create the image, system image, it is like your copy of your system, and you can use that copy to recreate your system again after complete crash. Then you have startup repair option. This detects and repairs most common startup issues. So if suppose you are facing some startup issues and your machine is not starting, then you can select this startup repair. It will automatically detects and tries to repair those most common startup issues. Mostly it is successful, it is not successful mostly, because when we have a startup problem, it is sometimes serious problem, so it is not able to repair that. And if you know the problem, then you can use command prompt. It will give you the command prompt access of your Windows, and you can use your commands to solve the problem. Like you can remove or add some driver, you can resolve the problem by the services or device drivers, and it runs diagnostic tools. So you can run the diagnostic tools, you can remove or stop services and device drivers, and then you can try to start the system again. Then you have one more option, go back to previous build. This preserves the personal files, but changes to apps and settings are lost. This is same as reset the PCs. Reset the PC will do install the Windows again fresh. Here it will not install the Windows again, but it will go back to the previous build. It is like going back to the factory reset, where applications will be removed, but the files, the data files, these files and data will not be removed. So these are the tools we have in the Windows recovery environment, and this is our Windows recovery environment. Now what options we are having here? We have continue. This will exit and continue to Windows 10. So suppose you have come here mistakenly, like 2 times rebooted, and your system is working properly. It is just because your system reboots, crashes 2 times or rebooted 2 times because of the power failure, and you came here. Then you can click continue and it will restart your system normally. Then you can do what? You can turn off the PC if you don't want to do anything. Then you have the option to use a device, use a USB drive network connection or Windows recovery DVD. This is if you are having the Windows recovery image. So you can use that recovery image to reinstall or recreate your system again. Then you have this troubleshoot options. Now under the troubleshoot option, first option you have this reset this PC. It will do what? It will let you choose to keep or remove the files and reinstall the Windows. So if you select this, it is going to reinstall the Windows completely, and it will give you option whether you want to keep the file or remove the file. So if I select this, it says keep my files, remove apps and settings, but keeps your personal files, and remove everything. That means remove all of your personal files and apps and everything. Then we have advanced options. So when you go to advanced options, you will see this. We have a startup repair option. This will try to fix the problems, keep Windows from loading. It will try to do it automatically. Then you have uninstall update option, remove recently installed quality or feature updates from Windows. So because of the problem is because of update, then it will remove the update recently installed, so fix the problem. Then we have startup settings, change Windows startup behavior. We can disable or enable some features at the time of startup. Then we can change the UEFI firmware setting, changes setting in your PC UEFI firmware. Now if you select this one, it will take you to the BIOS setting. Your machine will reboot and take you to the BIOS setting, where you can change the BIOS settings for your system. Then you can go for the command prompt to manage it manually, or you can restore the system from the restore point. So if you click this, it will give you option to those restore points which you have created. Now it shows this, and for doing the system restore, no one can do that unless they are authenticated. So you have to give the password for the authenticated user before doing the restore. So you have to select the user which is authenticated, and then you have to provide the password for that user. Otherwise anyone goes to the restore point and try to restore your system to earlier version. And you can see these restore points now. So if suppose your machine is not booting, not able to boot, then you can go to this recovery environment and you can select the restore point to restore your machine to the previous one. I will not do this because we have already done this. I will go back to this system recovery option. So troubleshoot, advanced option, and these are other options, like you can go for the command prompt, where it will give you the command prompt of your Windows and you can use it to fix the problem. Then you have the install update option. This will take you to the firmware, and this will give you startup settings, change the Windows startup behavior. This will try to repair the startup automatically, and this will try to startup setting, to try to change the startup setting, like these settings. Restart to change the Windows options such as enable resolution video mode, enable debugging mode, enable boot logging, and enable safe mode. Disable driver signature enforcement, disable earlier launch anti-malware protection, disable automatic restart on the system failure. These are all what? The safe modes. And this is what the safe modes, like when you go to these modes, like for example, if you go to this resolution video mode, it will do what? It will restart your system with the basic resolution video graphics. If suppose is the problem of the driver, video driver or graphic cards, then you can go to this mode to fix the problem. So if the problem related to graphics, so sometimes your Windows does not start, and even start does not display, so you can go to this mode to fix the problem. You go to this mode, reinstall, uninstall the driver, change the settings, and you can recover your system. Debugging mode do what? It do the debugging only. It will debug the system and it will create the logs for this, what is happening in your system. Enable boot logging, it will log the booting, like if you are having a problem in the booting, then it will try to log the booting and it will see the booting, and then you can try to fix the problem. And this is the safe mode. Now in this safe mode means it will start the system with the minimum requirement, minimum services, minimum application which is required configurations. Even network is not available, so all the services and devices will not be available. So when you go to this safe mode, you can fix those program, fix those devices, fix those drivers which is giving you the problem, and fix the applications also, because they are not starting, so they will not give you the problem. We can disable the driver signature enforcement also. Sometime if your drivers are not signed, and because of that your system is not accepting the driver, and because the driver is not accepting, the device is not working, so your system is not starting. So you can, just for the time being, you can disable the signature enforcement and your system will start, and then you can recover the driver, you can roll back the driver, and then it will start working. Disable early launch anti-malware protection. So if suppose there is some malware is there and your anti-malware protection is trying to save your system and do not allow the malware to run and try to protect your system, so sometime because of that also your system reboots. Disable automatic restart on system failure. Remember, your system restarts because it wants to save itself. It wants to save the operating system. So when the system starts and it sees some of the problem, which can cause the harm for your hardware, then it will reboot again. So whenever your system starts, it sees a problem, it try to reboot itself again, and that is why your system reboots when it got corrupted. So you can use this option to disable the automatic restart when system failure. So at least your system will try to boot, and if it is a small problem, then you can fix that problem when it is starting. So all these options works. Sometimes these options will also not work, because if your system is corrupted in that extent that even if it is not starting in the safe mode, then you have to use the other options. Now for choosing this option, you have to restart, and then it will reboot to this. It will give you to these options to select. So if even your system is not starting on the safe mode, then you have to go and restore your restore point, or you can restore it from the system image. This startup repair will try to automatically fix the repair, try to repair the system, and if it is possible, then it can repair. There are some more recovery option if you want, and this is what system image recovery. So if you have created the system image recovery, then you can recover it from here. You have to attach that external drive, external disk, external removable drive or internal drive, and then you go to this system image recovery. So when you go to system image recovery, it will try to search whether there is any other image is there or not. It is saying there is no image found because we have not created any image. It says select the system image, but we don't have any image. So if you don't have any image, then you can't do that. So this is your Windows recovery environment, and this recovery environment is coming from your Windows 10 itself. It is installed with Windows 10. Now if suppose this one is also not working, and if your Windows is not going into this recovery environment because this one is also corrupt, then you can start it from the recovery environment or recovery disk. Either you create the recovery disk, or you can start it from the bootable disk, your installation DVD. So I'll show you from the installation DVD. So boot from installation DVD, and then you can go to this recovery environment. So what I will do, I will reboot the system. So I will reboot the system, and I will go to so I go to the BIOS, and now I will boot it from the DVD, installation DVD, or if you have created the recovery DVD, then you can boot from that recovery DVD. So it is here under the CD-ROM. So I will boot from CD-ROM and press any key to boot from the DVD-ROM. Now it is booting from the DVD-ROM, and in the DVD I have the installation DVD. In the installation DVD also you have the recovery environment, and you can create a separate recovery disk also. Now here it is like we are installing the operating system, but I'm not going to install it. I will select next here, and this is where we have option repair your computer, and this is the recovery environment also. So you click on this, and you will see the recovery environment. And now this recovery environment is coming from our recovery disk. Same options, these are all same option. You'll go to troubleshoot, you will see the same options also here. You can see the recovery image, you can see the uninstall updates, go to firmware, restore point, command prompt, or startup repairs. It is not showing the startup options, the safe mode option, because it is not booting from the operating system, it is booting from the DVD. So this is how you can recover the system. For recovering it from the system image, you have to first create the system image and then you can select the system image to recover. So these are the system advanced startup options, which is actually the safe mode. Windows 10 provides advanced startup settings that you can use to start an operating system in an advanced troubleshooting mode. And these are the advanced troubleshooting mode, where you will see all the features are not available, only the specific features available when you go to these safe modes. In this safe mode you will see nothing available. In the safe mode with networking, you will see networking available. In the safe mode with command prompt, you will see command prompt will available. There is debugging mode, boot logging mode, and there is a mode where it is disabling these other features. So this is how we can recover our system. These are the features and tools and options available to recover the Windows 10 and recover the system.